Hi people, how are you? Good morning. I'm gonna just be doing a get ready with me. This is a quick collab, a little collab slash chit chat get ready with me that I'm doing with Miss Ashley Trejo here on YouTube. I will link her information somewhere in the screen and somewhere down below, so make sure you click that link and check her out. No, I'm just like, the intention was to quit my job and to be a full-time stay-at-home mom, or a a work-from-home mom, basically. And by work-from-home, I mean my business, like REBECCAINK.com. That's my website. I sell accessories on there. I was supposed to be putting t-shirts up on there, but I have not put the t-shirts up on there. I just feel like I'm not fulfilled. Like, I don't know if it's because my business isn't super busy, or if it's because, like, I just feel like I need to be doing something. Like, I need to be in someone's facility. I have that slave mentality. Not, like, no offense, but that's what I call it. People who feel like they have to work for someone. It's kind of like a slave mentality. Like, you have to be doing something for someone else in order to get money, and you really don't. You can do lots of other things. So, basically, that's what I'm saying, is I think I'm kind of conditioned, in a sense, to feel like the only way that is acceptable to make money is to work for someone else, which is definitely not the case, because if that was the case, there wouldn't be all types of creative jobs that were, thought of and provided for people and that sort of a thing. So today's makeup is going to be pretty simple. I'm opening up the blinds because obviously it is dark in here. First, a bad experience in school. They're going to be random, so whatever order is in is whatever order it's in. First bad experience in school. My first bad experience in school, let's see. Honestly, I'm gonna be honest with y'all for a minute. I hated school so much that I don't really remember much about school. But yeah, the kids were so, like, fast forward, if that's even a word, like, just so fast paced with their life, and I wasn't. Like, I took my time with everything. It was just like, girl, slow down, And I didn't feel like I connected with anyone on a level that was acceptable enough for me. I know that everyone else's mentality was kind of different, more different than mine. And so, yeah, that's just basically what it was. So, honestly, guys, I'm not going to do too much. I'm not putting any foundation on. I'm probably going to just do my eyebrows, put on some lashes, and do some eyeshadow. And saying, I just felt like the kids were very fast-paced for me, and that just wasn't my cup of tea, So, anyway, let me see. Going back to that. First bad experience in school. I think my first bad experience in school was, it could have possibly been like middle school. I had a lot of haters for whatever reason, and honestly, I don't know why. Because I never dressed like in a manner that someone should feel like, ooh, she thinks she's better. Like, I wore like big t-shirts and tight pants and tennis shoes. Like, I would say my first bad experience in middle school would be like getting in a fight, or finding out that a girl that I thought was like my best friend was talking crap about me behind my back one day when I was out of school. And she claims it was a joke, but to me, you don't say things that are hurtful or offensive to your friends or about your friends. So, like, I'm not saying that you deny the truth, but when when you're personally attacking them, like, for their physical looks or whatever, then that's a whole nother issue. Or like what they can what they have, like, you know, financially. Like, for instance, if they can't afford something or whatever, or they like to wear something, like, you're attacking them for that. Like, I don't think that that's cool. And so anyway, that was kind of bad for me because, you know, like I said, I thought that we were best friends. And then, you know, actually from there I learned my lesson. Like, I never really got too close to people, females, after that. I did have friends that I thought were best friends after that, but I didn't take it as hard once I realized that it was a pseudo-ass relationship. So that would be the first thing. Second thing would be my first ever boyfriend, first ever ill, ugly, everything that I wish I never had even known, was basically cheating. And a girl told me, because this girl that I knew told me, because he was coming to, like, her gym class or whatever, and cheating with the girl, basically telling people how the girl was his wifey and all this type of stuff. And y'all, I got so mad, and this is when my anger comes into play when I found out, because it's like, yo, you making me look like a fool. And that's one thing I don't like, I don't condone, I don't do. Like, you don't make people look bad. If you want to do your little stupid stuff, then you need to be honest about it, and, you know, let people decide for themselves. You don't take people's choices away. That is something that I do not agree with whatsoever. And I got so mad, I confronted him about it, and he kept lying to me. So I got so pissed, I slapped the shit out of him, y'all. Like, when I tell you I slapped the shit out of him, girl, I probably could have smacked some new skin onto him. And I'm not bragging about that, but I am bragging because it made me feel better at the time, you know. And I think, you know, me having gone through a whole lot of things, you know, as a child and whatnot, it was just like, it made me feel better, you know. It made me feel better to just call off and slap the shit out of him for being disrespectful and for being a liar and everything else. So anyway, like I said, you know, at that point, I didn't have very many female friends that I was close to or whatever, and I just felt like, you know, I had nobody at that point. And so, with that being said, yeah, I kind of hated just school in general, and, like, it's so crazy because I ended up, like, just messing up towards the end, and basically failing 12th grade. But then I went to summer school and I made it up that same summer. So I graduated the same year that I was supposed to graduate. Because I was determined that I was not about to go back to school, just because I had let, like, life situations, like, there was a whole lot of other stuff going on, not just in school, but, like, at home, and, you know, serious things that just were distracting to me. So I couldn't focus in school, and I hated school because it just seemed like such a burden, even more of a burden than everything else. Like, you know, it was like a burden on top of burdens. And so anyway, yeah, I finished school. I graduated from, like, a, I don't know, this summer school program. It wasn't like my base school or whatnot, but yeah, it was a program that I went to. I graduated from there. Traveling goals. First time ever being out of the state. No, first time ever being out of the country. And we lived in Germany. And we lived in Frankfurt, and that's all I could tell you because I was 3. So I don't really have very much memories, except for I remember, like, stained glass, which I thought was really cool, but I hated it because it was, like, hard to see out of. You know, like, if I wanted to, like, just look out the window, it's like, you know, it kind of obstructs your view in a way, or, you know, things don't look, I don't know, you get what I mean. So anyway, I got sick a lot over there. They ended up sending me back while he served his term over in Germany. If I could move, I would move to Canada. Like, that is my ideal place. I don't know why it is my ideal place, so please don't ask me. Like, I just have always been drawn to Canada. I feel like maybe because me being spiritual, I don't know, it might have something to do with me being spirituality. I've always wanted to visit Africa. I've also thought about living in Africa, but, you know, then that's where my mindset comes into play. Like my my thoughts about like being away from my family, then that's where that comes into play. Because then it's like, okay girl, well, if you go to Africa, then guess what, you're not going to be by your family like that, like, and Africa is expensive, so you can't be just taking trips over here every month, you know what I mean? I mean, I'm sure I could if I had a lot of money, but I don't know what my future holds as far as my finances, and if I'll ever get to that capacity to where I'm able to do something like that. So I would love to, but you know, like I said, I don't know my life's path. Anything could change, anything, you know. So that's that. First time ever traveling out of state would be probably when I was like probably about 3 to 5 again. And the place that I went to was Connecticut. So my dad, that I was just telling you about, the one who's been in my life since I was very young, he has family that is in Connecticut that has accepted me as their family for as long as I can remember. So that's who I claim, like, you know, aside from my mom's family, like that's who I call auntie and cousin and, you know, grandma. Okay, so going back to first relationship, like, okay, so it was like first kiss. Okay, so I'm just kind of skipping around. I know I'm jumping around all over the place, but it was like a first kiss. So honestly, my first ever kiss was when I was in preschool, and I know y'all probably like, what? But there was this boy, this little boy. I can't remember his name because it was, you know, we were kids and whatnot. But anyway. We were in preschool and he was like, I know how to kiss, and then he kissed me. So that was my first ever kiss. But my first ever like kiss, it was probably when I was like 15 or so. And yeah, that was that. Goals for traveling would be, I want to visit Canada. I wanted to do that this year, but girl, I'm such an adventurer that like I like to just do different things. Like I wanted to go to Canada. I wanted to go on a cruise. I wanted to go to the Caribbean. I wanted to go to New York. But I wanted to go to Connecticut. To visit my family up there and whatnot. But anyway, those are my goals. I want to travel to Africa. I want to travel to Canada. I would like to travel to Japan one day, and Italy. But I don't know how, you know. I would also like to go to Barcelona. I heard Barcelona is beautiful. And I don't know, just I just want to travel. Like honestly, like wherever I can travel, I just like to travel, to be honest with you. Y'all, I'm just honestly like, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just kind of doing something. So like, if this makeup look looks wacko jacko, it's because I'm just applying as I go. Like I don't have a real look that I'm going for. So yeah. Anyway, I'm almost done because all I'm gonna do is just do some eyeliner, some mascara, eyelashes. What are y'all's first times? Like, what is the first time you travel? Like, what is the first time, you know, you did anything that was worth remembering? Amani is obviously my first child, so, you know, that's that. Do I want to have more kids in the future? I would like to. But, you know, me and my boyfriend have to be on the same page. And I feel like with a lot of things, like, you know, we're not. I'm more mature than him in some ways. And that causes an issue because it's like, you know, get it together, bro. Because things that he does, I would never think to do. And, you know, things that he does that causes issues in our relationship, I would never do, because I'm a very considerate person, and I feel like, you know, sometimes he's selfish. As far as kids, I would love to have kids, more kids in the future before I got too old. I don't have very many more years left before I'm just going to be like, I don't want them. I'm good with the one I have. And so yeah, if it doesn't happen by then I guess I won't be having them unless I adopt or something. And because also I'm very particular about it, because my experience with my daughter was not the best, because again, her father was very selfish in his actions and like things that he did as a father. And so I don't want to go through that again. Like, even though I don't feel like my boyfriend would be 100% the same, like the same as my daughter's father, I do feel that like he's a male, and I feel like because males don't physically push the children out of their wombs, that there is a disconnect there. Now it might not all be as prevalent as some males, like it might not be like a full disconnect, like some males who can just not know who their children are and not be around their children at all. But yeah, there's a level of disconnect there that they don't have, because you don't have a whole body. Like, you're not creating a whole body. All you did was help you know, determine the DNA and the features and the sex, you know what I mean? All you did was help to make the baby. But ultimately the body of the woman is creating the baby and nurturing it. So I feel like a lot of times that's why there's a disconnect between fathers and their children. I'm very cautious about that, because the last thing that I want to do is bring a child into this world and have to co-parent another child into this world and have to co-parent with them, you know, because I know that it has a lot of stress, and it puts a lot of stress on my daughter, you know, me co-parenting or whatever. Because there's times that she cries and she wants to be with her dad. There's been times that she's cried and she's wanted to be with me. I want to if I don't have any more kids, like within the next 2 years, I want to get a tummy tuck, and I want to get a breast lift, because I feel like, I mean, you know, obviously when you have a kid, things change. So I feel like things have definitely changed. I mean, things have definitely changed since my daughter, but I kind of just want to, like, if I had any surgeries, that would be the surgeries: a tummy tuck and a breast lift. Not breast, like, I don't want anything implanted. I don't want none of that. I just want my breast lifted. So yeah, I wish there was a thing that could take away stretch marks, because girl, I promise you I would do that. And you know, I said I was gonna do lashes, but I actually changed my mind. I think I'm gonna just put on some lipstick, and that's gonna be the end of this get ready with me. Yeah, I really need my pencil sharpener, y'all. Like, that was ridiculous. So I'm going in with taupe from MAC. So yeah, I had a business meeting yesterday, and I'll probably be going back to work. And yeah, that's all that's happening in my life right now. Just trying to figure out things, you know. Even though you might be 20 or 30 or 50 or 90, I think there's always new things that you learn. So there's always things that you're figuring out about your life. And if you ever are at a point where you feel like you're too old for something, don't feel that way, because I struggle with that. But I also have learned that, like, everybody's life purpose is not the same, everybody's path is not the same, and that, you know, whatever it is that you don't have, it may be just because it wasn't meant for you. So again, check out my girl Ashley Trejo's video.
I will put her link down below, and I will check you guys later. Bye.